has the most densely populated territory on Earth, with a fascinating blend of Portuguese and Chinese culture, including delicious food, wonderful architecture, and fascinating history. This tiny little island at the mouth of the Pearl River, just a bus ride away from Hong Kong, made for an excellent little day trip on our journey through China. Alright, well, we just crossed through our little immigration checkpoint on the Hong Kong side, and we got on our bus, and
we crossed the long new bridge.
Yeah, it must be one of the longest bridges in the world. I don't know, have to research.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna cross the bridge and get to the Macau side in what, how long, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes?
Yeah.
So it's a long ride on the bridge, but yeah, here we go. Woo! Okay, well, we just cleared Macau immigration. And yeah, so we rode over the bridge. We didn't get some good footage because someone was sitting in the very front seat, so we couldn't really film very well the bridge out the window, but it was a nice view.
Yeah, 55 kilometers, 34 miles.
Total, with bridges and tunnels.
Tunnel on the bridge.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely fun. But now we've got to get the bus to Macau because we're on a little man-made island on the edge here. And then there are a lot of buses that shuttle to the casinos, but those are all on a second island a little further south.
Casino Islands. And we want to go to the historical Macau.
Yeah. So we gotta catch a regular bus, which is about 6 Hong Kong dollars. Macau Pescada.
Yeah. And they do accept the Hong Kong dollars here, but we can't bring it back to Hong Kong, Macau Pescadas.
I mean, we can bring it.
Pacadas.
Oh yeah, we can't use it back.
Yeah, we can use,
So it's better to just keep Hong Kong dollars. All right, let's get on a bus and see if we can get to downtown.
Yeah. Still a lot of apartments and tall buildings all around.
We finally made it to downtown, kind of downtown Macau, at least the historic area.
Yeah.
And pretty excited. It's about almost noon, so we're both pretty hungry. So our first mission is to get some food.
Yeah, Portuguese food.
So we're gonna head there. We found a little cafe online that should have what we're looking for. Yeah, and then after that we're gonna explore some of the historical sites and yeah, maybe a museum. Let's see, food first. All right, well, we found a nice little cafe here. It's definitely Portuguese food. So we've got some Mozambique chicken and
some bacalhau, bolinho de bacalhau and bacalhau tart.
So bacalhau,
cod.
Kind of salted
fish.
Fish, yes.
I love it. So excited.
So we were searching for that specifically.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's try it.
Oh, fuck.
Too hot?
Delicious. Delicious. Ooh, a burn my tongue, but it's good. It's worth it. You know the tart? Ooh, I wait. It's a little hot. It's like Portuguese Mozambique mix style.
Yeah, some sort of like curry, almost.
It's good.
Oh, it's very different, very unusual.
Not curry. Look curry, but
Yeah, it looks like curry. Not really, not curry. It's really good. A little spicy, but not too bad.
Ooh, we can add spicy if you want to. Uma torta de bacalhau. Very good.
Which one's better?
I think the classic bolinho de bacalhau. I like the fried, the texture. But this really good too. I could eat like 30 of each.
All right, now that we've got some food in us, we're here at our first stop, which is probably the most famous one. You see it on a lot of the pictures from Macau and things. It is the ruin of the Cathedral of São Paulo. The structure here is about 400 years old. It was originally built on the site by Jesuit missions coming to Macau from Portugal and Spain in about 1600. But in the early 1800s, the whole thing burned down in a fire during a typhoon. And it's been a ruin here on this site since then. Mostly, all that's left is just the front facade. Down below in the modern building, you can find some interesting things. Some artifacts as well as some burial sites from people who lived here, including possibly some of the Japanese craftsmen who were brought here after being kicked out of Japan by the Tokugawa shogunate for being Christian. They were converted by Jesuits there and brought here and continued their life as Christians. It's quite interesting. And if you want to know a little more about that story, you can check out our old video about Nagasaki. Next, we're gonna walk right across the street up this little hill, which is known as Fortaleza de Monte, or Mount Fortress. It's got a little bit of a park built now, but you can still see the remnants of one of the old forts built by the Portuguese.
Macau official language is Portuguese, so all the signs have Portuguese in it, but only 2% of the population speak or read Portuguese, so it's really interesting. So it's good for me, so I can understand well the museum on like historical places. But if I try to talk to the local, no one understands me. It's hidden away, but on top of the escalator, I have a little museum here.
The museum's pretty interesting. They've got like the story of Portugal going all the way back to like the earliest forms of writing, plus the story of China starting way back in the Qin dynasty, and then where they meet all the way, well, more recently. The first European to reach China by sea was the Portuguese captain Jorge Alvarez in 1513. And for decades afterwards, Portuguese merchants attempted to establish trade colonies around the Pearl River Delta, but constantly ran into conflict with the Ming government. Eventually, in 1557, they returned peacefully, and were able to lease the island of Macau from the Ming government for an annual fee. Over the next 2 centuries, this tiny little island became a vital trading hub for the Portuguese, and it was one of the most important stops along the maritime Silk Road, bringing goods from Japan all the way back to Europe. However, following the Opium Wars and the establishment of Hong Kong by the British Empire, which you can learn a little bit more about in our last video, Macau's importance to maritime trade in the area began to decline. But the Portuguese maintained control of the island all the way through the 20th century, eventually handing control back to China in 1999, officially making Macau a special administrative region of China. Today, about 2/3 of the land of Macau is actually reclaimed land. That includes the airport and the area where we arrived, the immigration area, but it also includes a lot of the land between these two islands. In fact, a long time ago, you should have been able to see all the way over to the other island where the casinos now are, but a lot of the land in between it has actually been reclaimed. Macau here is the most densely populated territory on Earth, with more people per square meter than Singapore, Hong Kong, and even Monaco. This island is so small, in fact, that you can actually, from the top of the mountain, just see right over to mainland China. If you see this water here, that's all that separates Macau from the rest of the mainland. And it's not even that wide. Gambling has been legal on the island for almost 200 years, starting in the 1840s. But it wasn't until after the handover in 1999 that the industry really took off. These days, income from casinos, like the Grand Lisboa behind me, account for most of the profit generated on the island.
Actually, Macau have more casinos than Las Vegas.
All right, now we are off to our next stop, the plaza. And after the quiet museum, this is kind of a lot.
Yeah, very crowded. The weekday today.
A lot of people trying to sell the little like beef jerky and the egg tarts and things. We tried the beef jerky. It was pretty good, but it's very sweet. And I really want to get some egg tarts, but I want to get them from like a real bakery, not just like a gift shop kind of place. So we're gonna look a little longer. I think we're almost to the square now. I'm really enjoying the architecture. I think a lot of it is renewed or restored, but it's still very, I don't know. I like the ambiance.
I like Macau. It's my second time here, and I can come again. It's like so beautiful to be, and the food is good. It's nice. Can't wait to go to Europe, to Portugal. Yeah. We already have been to all the Asian Portuguese colonies, but we never been to Portugal.
We actually do have to stop at the post office to pick up some stamps because we got some postcards for our patrons. So if you want to get a handwritten postcard from us, and feel free to follow us down on Patreon. Hopefully we can send it from the country while we're there. Today we have to go fast because we're only here for like, I don't know, 10 hours. So we gotta go. I think we found our egg tarts. I can smell them from here. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, this looks fancy. I don't know, might be a little expensive, but it's worth it, I guess.
Try without anything first, and after a little cinnamon and more sugar, maybe. Okay. Which one you want to? Either one? Okay, I get this one because it's easy for me.
Yeah, with the urn.
Yeah, yeah, but cinnamon.
Oh, one dose.
Maybe not more sugar. I can eat more. So sad. It's really good. I really recommend.
All right, we're almost to our last little sightseeing stop for the day, which is the lighthouse and Forte da Guia. But we're gonna climb all the way up the hill. And now I think we're just about there.
Actually, where we arrived this morning was over there. We can see they're still working on it. It's like a man-made island, and where we are is Macau Island, where more the local people live. And we can see the connection of the bridge over there is where the casinos and the resorts are. So the tourists who come here to gambling stay in another island. And here's historical.
All right, well, after a long day walking around Macau, literally almost like all the way around, we're finally on our way back to Hong Kong. It's going to be a long bus ride, it's actually about an hour. So, and then we've got another bus ride when we get there. But we'll call it here. So on our trip, to use up the last bit of our Macau currency, we got one last egg tart.
Yeah.
So we're gonna enjoy that on our way back. And we're gonna be in Hong Kong for a bit and then back off to mainland China. But we'll save that for next time. In the meantime, thank you for watching and
See you at our next destination.
ciao.
Ciao.